All right, here's another nugget of history here in El Dorado County. We're at Kitawusu, a talking rock. This one being Turtle Banak'amuluk. And a lot of them said, oh, talking rocks, singing stones, what a bunch of savages and ignorance. No. The way this works is you have stone formations that may run for miles. Typically in this part of California, they're running this way to this way, kind of a north to south run. And over the 6,000 years that the Hill Nisenan were living here, they found that you can tap on one end. It's like the grain of wood, and you have to get on the end grain, and you could hear those reports on the other end. Now, one of these was demonstrated by our local Maidu shaman, Rick Adams, and I got to give you the science. If I'm talking to you in the air, the sound is traveling about 768 miles an hour. If I tap on that rock, the vibrations are going down that rock at 3,240 miles an hour. Now, a set of singing stones that I do not have the permission to show you, but Rick Adams demonstrated for us, is we got our cell phones at both ends, 11 miles apart. And he could tap on that end, I could tap on, and I could hear the taps on the other end almost instantaneously, and it's 11 miles away. That's the science behind this. Now, the way these were manned was typically by elderly Indians. They didn't have a written language. So it was about a 6-year apprenticeship to learn how to listen to and transmit their code. We had some people that had remembered listening to the code in their youth, and they said it sounded similar to Morse code. Now, to give you the effectiveness of this network, this communications network, when Fremont and Carson showed up at Togano, which is about 14 miles above us, Togano being their word for Sly Park. In the middle of the wintertime, they come out of the snow. From Togano, mostly augmented by these singing stones, the Indians as far south as Murphy's, California, and Georgetown were aware of their arrival on the same day. Beats the heck out of smoke signals or the Pony Express riders. Now, these don't necessarily begin and end right next to one another. There might need to be runners to go to the next set of singing stones. But when this was fully manned, fully operational, the communications capabilities that it facilitated are why so many settlers and pioneers wondered, how could the Indians know this fast? This is a lot of it. It's their own telegraph system. Now, the unfortunate thing of it is that many of the 49ers, typically seeing elderly Indians or an Indian that was deformed, broken leg, not able to get around, this is a way they could be beneficial to their society. And if you're not beneficial in a hunter-gatherer society, you're not around. You don't have the food to take care of lazy folks. Well, they'd see them out by a rock, and they wanted you to be quiet. So the interpretation was, they's worshiping pagan gods, them heathens, and put dynamite on that pagan altar. No, in reality, it's actually a telegraph station. They did not know to communicate this. So when you hear some of the older stories about the Indians worshiping pagan gods and pagan altars, no, it's actually telegraph stations, and this is actually what they were. And the science behind this, how this sped up the communications net system for these people, really needs to be explained and be appreciated. Now, there's a fair number of them in the county that are actually registered historical landmarks. There's one over here where they've actually chiseled into the rock to get a face into the grain so they could both hear and transmit. This is true here. You don't see it as much as you do on the other one. However, the other one is on a bad corner and I'm likely to get run over by a car driving down. So I figured I'd use this one to show. But just to give you another interesting nugget of history here in El Dorado County. Thank you.